Hello, namaste everyone. It is February 14th, 2024. And the wise ones wanted to come on today and give you a Valentine's message. For those that aren't in America, there's a Valentine's Day celebration every year on February 14th in America. So, what's interesting is, of course, Hallmark and flower shops make tons of money today. I was in a store and almost all the flowers were gone today. It was just like wiped out. And then there was another store it was Whole Foods that had tons of flowers. They were getting all these bouquets ready, and it was very interesting. And of course, all the prices go up. So it's that day to day. What's fascinating is, for the first time in my life, I was guided to take today off from my day job. For about 20 years now, I've taken my birthday off. And for the first time, I decided I'm taking Valentine's Day off. I am taking a day to love me. And I also decided leap year, the February 29th that occurs every 4 years, that should not be an extra day that work gets. That's an extra day I get. That's my extra day every 4 years. So I am now going to take off leap year, leap day, whatever you want to call it, on leap year every 4 years. That's my day to honor me. So, with that in mind, the wise ones asked me to tone for self-love, which is appropriate considering that I took today off to love me. So, and send love to all of you. Okay. Hai nana ni ho hayato, hai nana mi atiko. Kaya ni hamo, kaya ni mo, kanahani ho, kaya ni hamo, kaya ni hamo, haya namo, haya nanamo, kohi namahani, kohi namahani. Hinamahamniyana, hiyanahamniyama, koanakati, koanahamni, yati, yanohanamamni. Ayatochoya nanamakahaiti, yahotono. Kanamachahani hati, hananamakochi, yaho, yaho, ho. I hope you felt a hug from that, because I felt like I was hugging me when I was singing that. So maybe listen again and see if you can feel a hug. That the wise ones are hugging you. All right? So with that said, let me just say that I am still extremely pleased with how the book is flowing. And I am now changing a few things up. I'm writing this book as a unique expression. As a friend reminded me, Karen, you shouldn't have a preface, you shouldn't have an introduction, you shouldn't have the typical things that are in a book, because that's not who you are. You aren't the typical person. Never have been. And it's funny, I always wanted to be unique like a unicorn. Careful what you ask for. being unique can be very lonely. Just very lonely. So be very careful what you ask for in this world. You might get it. I switched up how I'm naming things and how I am putting the book together. So it's still evolving, and I'm still very happy with it. And every time I sit down to write, I learn more things to put in it. I remember, oh, this story has to be in there, and oh, this awakening moment, or this piece of knowledge that I learned, or this wisdom that I received about XYZ. So it's growing and evolving, and I am extremely happy with how it's turning out. So that's the good news. And I have a birthday next month, so I am taking a week off because the most wonderful birthday gift I can give myself is to write. So that's what I'm going to be doing for a week. So hopefully, fingers crossed, I can get a lot more accomplished and get closer to the first draft being done. So that's the exciting news. All right. I am going to bring forth the wise ones because I'm a little clueless as to what they want to talk about. However, I was last month, and look what they came up with. I suspected something about self-love. It's a good clue they've already given us. So let me bring forth the wise ones. Hello. Namaste, everyone. We are thrilled to be back. Yes, we say that every time, and every time we're thrilled to be back. So know that that is honesty and integrity. And yes, we asked Karen to do this in recording today. It has been something that we have been wanting to follow up on. Years ago, we had her write a newsletter about Valentine's Day not being out there, but being in here. Valentine's Day should be a day about loving self and then sharing that with others. So we'd like to introduce that new perception to all of you, that you make this day about you first. It's a perfect day to practice loving your neighbors as yourself. But again, you have to love you first before you know how to love your neighbors. Because you can only love your neighbors the way you love yourself. So everybody that you see judging, guess what they're doing to themselves? You are reflecting out to the world what you're feeling inside. So if you are judging out there, you're judging in here. And we've had Karen ponder something lately. It has been a conversation that she's finally going, aha, got it. Because when she was a little girl, she remembers that person out there. I really don't like this about that person, but I can respect this aspect of them. It wasn't black and white. It wasn't, I hate that person, I like that person. It was, oh, well, I so don't agree with that, but I agree with that. You had two political parties, and you leaned towards one versus the other, but you didn't hate one side versus the other. And there were two candidates, and you may like a couple things over here and lot more over here. But you didn't hate everything over here and like everything over here. When did the world become that? When did it become that? And you hear people say, well, that person's just evil. That other world leader is evil. Well, really? Or is that what you were taught? Is that what you were told to think? And we've had Karen sit back lately and really look at things. She was talking about a dragonfly today and how she used to dislike dragonflies. They were pesky flies and they were just like in the way and they were just obnoxious by the pond and yada, 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 yada. And, they were just pests. But she has learned how amazing dragonflies are. They can fly every direction, pivotal, all over the place. They have a 95% catch rate for mosquitoes. Definitely something she can appreciate because she always got eaten alive by mosquitoes. And they are just this beautiful reflection of light. So why was she taught that they were just pests? Just like, bleh. Get rid of them. It's one example of how your world has been programmed to think. You have been taught to hate. You have been taught what you're allowed to like or should like. When was the last time you sat back and listened to the person rather than what you were told to think about them? The media tells you to think this. There's people running around on your planet that make millions of dollars from just being obnoxious on the TV. Really? And you're taught to love and adore and admire these people. Obviously, Karen doesn't. Anyway, do yourself a huge favor. As you look inside and you learn all the ways, all the things to love yourself about, and all the things that you don't like, that you accept, because you can't be everything. Karen wishes that she was she calls them the bing bang boom person. Bing bang boom. They get it done. It's like bing bang boom done. She's still planning how to start the project and somebody else has it done. That is something she would love to change about herself. But to do that, she would have to let go of the detailed organizer. And she really likes that she's a detailed organizer. So, choose. Detailed organizer, sprinter. Organizer, sprinter. Now, some people are OCD and they can sprint and detail. That's not Karen. So, she's the slow, meticulous, long-distance runner, Energizer bunny, one step at a time, get it done. What's that word? I can't come up with that word. Not pathological. That's not the word I want. But patterned would be one idea, but there's a word for that. Methodical. Methodical. Very methodical. Okay? As you look at yourself, and especially on this journey Karen's going on in writing this book, she's looking at all these details of how she learned all these things about herself and how she came to love herself about those. And that's what the whole workbook journey is going to be for Divine Guidance for Love, how to unconditionally love you. It's all about those pieces of wisdom and traits you learned about yourself and how you learned these skills and your abilities, and to honor yourself for doing so well, for achieving all of these things. Did you achieve this goal? Maybe not. But did you achieve 100 little goals? Yes. And it's about acknowledging where you are, how much you've grown, how much you've learned. And when you can do that for you, you can do that for other people. You can look at a leader. You can look at a celebrity. You can look at a neighbor or boss or coworker, and you can look at them and say, I really don't like this about them. But they're this. We challenged Karen a long time ago with a coworker who was sabotaging her right and left, trying to get her fired. And she wanted to spit the person's face out and give them a new one. And something a friend used to say to me, guys, it's good luck at that person I'm spiritual, because I would chew that person's face up and spit them out a new one. Karen would just crack up laughing, and then she started to realize why she said that when she dealt with this other person at work. And we just said you can do that and create new karma, or you can look at her greatest self and look at who she is capable of being and becoming, and look at how much she loves her children, how much she cares about her grandchildren. You can see the frightened little girl that's scared of not being liked. And so she projects all of this upset about herself, because you represent who she wants to be, and she's not knowing how to do that. So you can either be an example, or you can give her more reasons to not like herself. Oh, speaking as Karen, that was really tough, guys. Oh, you have no idea how many times I wanted to rip that person apart and tell her, put her in her place. No idea how many times. And I kept hearing God's words. Hold the space for her. Hold the space for her to see herself. 2 years later, she wrote me the most beautiful letter when I was leaving that job and said, how do you thank someone for teaching you how to love yourself? How do you thank someone who, in the face of so much hatred that I dumped at her, she kept loving me? How do you thank someone who helped me find myself again? It was worth all the pain. It was worth all the pain to see that. And it helped me be a better coach, a better self-empowerment coach, a better person, a better human being, a better teacher, a better shaman, a better everything. And go ahead, wise ones. That's what you wanted me to tell, right? Right. Right, Karen. That's what's possible. And we challenge all of you this Valentine's Day to hold the space. Hold the space for your leaders. Okay, yeah, no, Karen, we're not going to go there. But I want to go there. Guys, what I want to say is those pretending to lead. And I think that's fair. Pretending that they know how to lead. Pretending that they're working for the people when they're working for the elite. Yes, that's where I'm going to go with it. I'm going to say it. That is my truth. And they have been taught that. They have been taught that. Go ahead, wise ones. She stole our punchline. Yes, they have been taught to lead like that. They have been manipulated in leading like that. They have been trained to lead like that. They have been groomed to lead like that. We're going to go back to a lesson that Karen had. And FYI, Karen, that needs to go in the book. Oh, yeah, it does, doesn't it? So everyone, Jesus came to me and asked me to go see the Passion. So a friend went with me, and I sobbed to the point of not being able to breathe in that movie. It was the most horrific visual I have ever seen in a movie. I came home from that movie shaking, sobbing, on my knees, begging Jesus and God to tell me why they put me through that. Why did I have to see that? Because I couldn't unsee it. I couldn't get it out of my head. The scenes kept going over and over and over in my brain. I literally had to close my eyes to even stay sane during that movie. Especially the lashing. I mean, literally, you saw pieces of skin flying off of Jesus. It was all I could do to not scream bloody murder and run out of that theater. If anybody knows me, I am a night owl. If I go to bed before 9 o'clock, it means I'm really sick. Probably have a fever. That's about the only thing that'll get me in bed by 9 o'clock at night. That night, I was so exhausted from that movie. I was in bed at 8:45. And begging to know why I had to go through that. God talks to me in threes. That's my soul number. I am always talked to in threes. 3 a.m. on the dot. 3:00. I bolted upright in bed and started singing. You've got to be taught to love and hate. You've got to be carefully taught. And I was remembering the scene where Jesus asked for a drink. And no, it was when Jesus said, Father, forgive them. They know not what they're doing. And the acting, as a trained actress, the acting was superb, because you saw on that soldier's face, you saw in that moment that that soldier had never been treated with love and forgiveness. The soldier was just stupefied. It was like it woke the soldier up to, that's what forgiveness feels like? That's what love feels like? And then the soldier gives the sponge with water, right? It was that scene in the movie. And what dawned on me with that image and that song, soldiers aren't taught love. You can't teach love and have somebody murder somebody. You can't. They're taught hatred. To this day, soldiers are taught hatred. Go hate that person. That person's evil. That person's a dictator. That person's destroying their country. You've got to go kill that person. We're taught hatred over and over and over and over and over. Currently, we're being taught, hate these people, hate Russia, hate Hamas, hate this, hate that. This is good, that's bad. Well, again, wise ones, you take it over. Exactly, Karen. Okay, so why we had Karen tell you that point is that you are being told how to think. You are being told who people are. You are being told who groups are, who countries are. You are being told how to think, how to feel, how to respond, how to hate. It is very, very, very prominent in your world right now. Very prominent. And we're not saying that some of it isn't true. But is all of it true? Is all of it? Because when you listen to the person, you always hear a different perspective. You always hear a different perspective. And the most loving thing you can do for yourself first and foremost, is to observe, is to listen to the source only, the source, not what somebody else tells you to think about them, the source. And then really ask your truth, your higher self, your gut, your spirit, to interpret, learn, and analyze what you're hearing. Does it align with your truth? Is it something you can respect and honor? Or is it not? And based on what we're seeing on your planet, at least 50%, at least 50% of what you're being told is wrong. There's a completely different perspective, and if you allow yourself to hear it, you are going to go, oh, well, I would feel the same way if I was treated that way. Oh, well, if I was constantly being threatened and and there's nuclear missiles on the other side of the border, I would be upset about that. Observe from the horse's mouth. Listen. to all facts and figures. And most importantly, most importantly, look at shades of gray. You don't have to hate and like. Go back to, well, I can respect this from that person, but I don't like XYZ. I can respect this from that person, and I like XYZ. But not M and N. Go back to valuing somebody for who they are and who they are not. Taking what works from someone, what you can agree with, and leaving the rest without hating them, without judging them. Oh, okay. Agree to disagree. Because honestly, I can't get my fingers right. You've got to do that for yourself. The only way you can fully love yourself is to love who you are and who you aren't. There's going to be things about you. Every single person on this planet, including Karen, you can find things to dislike about. And every single person on this planet, you can find things to like about. And it's time that you value something for its goodness. Karen just read something about mosquitoes. She despises mosquitoes because they eat her alive. And then she gets hives, and then she's scratching, and she's days and weeks of itching. So she has come to really hate mosquitoes. And then she was reading a book about gardening, and that mosquitoes are actually a form of pollination. They pollinate. They help to pollinate. And she went, they're a pollinator? I can't hate pollinators. They're so important to our world. There's something to like about everything. Mosquitoes also feed dragonflies, a source of transformative light. Mosquitoes feed bats, another major important pollinator in your world. She used to dislike bats too, especially when they were on her wall in her bedroom at night. They'd come down from the attic and she'd freak out. Her dad would come and catch it. But now that she knows they're a major source of pollinator, again, you were taught to be afraid of bats when you were a kid. They're going to suck your blood. No. They have rabies. They're going to hurt you. Bats are more afraid of you than they are of anything else, and they're only going to hurt you if you attack them. They're going to run away from you as fast as possible. You have been taught hatred in every direction. Towards animals, towards bugs, towards people, towards businesses, towards policies, towards games, towards ethnics, towards religion, towards foods, towards everything on your planet. You have been taught hatred. And you have to be carefully taught. To move forward in your world in 2024. We said it the last two shows. You have to release the evil, the trauma, the post-traumatic stress that you have accumulated in this lifetime and any others. And you have to release the taught hatred and the judgments. Because the judgments are destroying your society. Peace is never going to happen on your planet with taught hatred. never going to happen on your planet with taught hatred. It will only happen on your planet when you learn to value somebody's worth and you learn to respect what you don't like about someone. Again, an example of Karen's coworker. When she realized that this woman was insecure, didn't love herself, and projected that out on everyone, she was able to help her see the reasons to love herself. She was able to lift her up and empower her to remember the great things about her. The great things about her. There was literally a conversation with this person where she would constantly get phone calls every day and people would ask her questions. And she's like, I don't understand why they're doing that. And then she would go do something. She said, I'm just so stupid. And Karen looked at her and said, I need your help with something. She's like, sure. I said, I'm very confused. So if you needed an answer from someone, if you needed help, would you call someone that is stupid and doesn't know answers, or would you call somebody who is smart and can figure out the answers? I'd call somebody smart who can figure out the answers. I said, exactly. So why would people call you if you're stupid? And she stopped. And she started to cry. And Karen said, when are you going to realize how smart you are, like the rest of us already know? And the person came over and hugged her. Do yourself a favor. Learn to love yourself and release taught hatred, taught self-incrimination, taught lack of respect for self. Learn to love those things about you and release all those taught misunderstandings about yourself, taught limitations about yourself. Love who you are and what you're capable of and what you've accomplished. And love what you aren't. Karen's not a sprinter. She can finally love that about herself because she's not both. Will she ever be? Probably not. It's okay if she is. But she might. Never know. But if you're resisting something, it's never going to happen. What you resist persists. You gotta let it go. And then there's possibility. Then there's the quantum field of infinite potentials. But if you've got a block, if you're pushing against something, no, not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. And when you can do that for yourself, you can do that for leaders, you can do that for businesses, you can do that for the beings. Many of the people causing problems on your planet were taught hatred. They were taught narcissism. They were taught that they were better than others. Hold the space for them to awaken. They may not. But there is one thing that can never be controlled. The book Man's Search for Meaning totally, profoundly changed Karen's life. Because Viktor Frankl learned when he was stripped down naked in front of the Nazis, and they took the last possession he had from his life and his wedding band. And he realized in that moment the one thing they could never take from him, they could take his life, but they could not take his choice and ability to love. And he refused to hate them and survived the Holocaust. Dr. Edith Eva Eger felt sorry for the Nazis when she was 16 in Auschwitz because they were stuck there. Those soldiers were imprisoned in that camp too. And they could never take away what she chose to focus on in her mind. And she was dancing, and she was with her boyfriend, and she was free. They could not take away the freedom in her mind. Don't let someone take away your freedom. Don't let them teach you hate. Don't let them teach you that this person's wrong and bad and this person isn't. You choose what to love about yourself. And then you listen to someone else and you honor who they are and who they aren't. Respect who they are and who they aren't. Because even in everything that you don't like about a person, there's something. Karen said this today. There's a lot of things to not respect about Hitler. And that man had a passion for art and history. His knowledge and his passion for art and history was profound. Yes, he stole artwork from everywhere that wasn't his right to take. And at least the man respected that. So, you don't have to like anything else about him, but there is one thing that she could find to value about him. And bottom line, a soul that gets that deep into hurting others is a very, very, very injured soul. And if you can step back and look at the injuries and what they were taught, you can have compassion, you can have understanding, you can have acceptance. You can have tolerance. And that is the place of peace on your planet. You've got to come to a place of agreeing to disagree, of respecting someone for who they are. Most of the problems on your world will be solved that way. There are some people who have so been taught evil that you may not be able to shift them. But there's one thing we can tell you with absolute certainty. Sending hate will produce more war, will produce more unrest, will produce more cataclysmic divides that will result in things that you don't want. And the more that that energy is created on your planet, the more it will be kicked back to you by Earth. Because Mother Earth is going through her own ascension process. She is spinning faster and faster in this new Aquarian age, in the solar system where you are in the universe. And the imbalance of energies from mass consciousness are causing her to have discord. You want your weather patterns to calm down. You want the wars to calm down. You have to come together. You have to stop hating. You have to stop teaching hate, believing in hate, living in hate and judgment in order to move forward. On this Valentine's Day, we ask that you look in a mirror. Stop judging you. Stop hating things about you. Start loving what you've accomplished. Start believing in yourself of what you can accomplish. And start listening to others. Listen to them. Hear them. Understand who they are and what's important to them. And speak to that. Because everybody on your planet's putting up walls. I don't like you. I don't want to talk to you. I don't agree with you. And that divide is causing constant conflict in your world. It's time to love self and project that out onto others. It's critical, crucial. It's the only way your world's going to move forward. We know that wasn't the type of conversation you wanted to hear today, but it was the best that we could give today, especially on a day that is so important. There's love on the planet. There's love lifted up. Keep it there. Keep it there. And the only way you're going to keep it there is to continue to send it out. Namaste. Amen. Aho. And so to so. We bid you adieu this month, and we'll be back. Namaste. Wow. 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 That is a conversation that's needed on our planet right now. We have to get back to loving self. It's so important. And accepting and respecting others for who they are and who they are not. So critical. It's so critical. We don't have to agree with everything. But if we focus on the person's best, we focus on what's good about them, and we constantly focus there, where you give your attention, energy expands. What is our world giving attention on? They're giving attention on evil, this person, that person, bad. And what's happening? More bad. We've got to get back to gratitude. That's the importance of a gratitude journal. I just watched the movie. I bought it for myself finally. I've been wanting it for years, and for Christmas I bought myself White Christmas. One of my favorite Christmas movies. And then I just watched it Saturday night, and I can't stop singing. If you're worried and you can't sleep, Just count your blessings instead of sheep, and you'll fall in love counting your blessings. And I keep thinking about that. I'm like, huh, oh my gosh. I mean, this song says it all. If we go to sleep counting our blessings, what you focus on expands. If we focus on what we like about someone or what we want more of, it expands. The best gift we can give ourselves, the best gift of self-love today is to find all the reasons about ourselves to love us and the reason to love others, no matter who they are. What can we focus on to respect? Maybe not love, but respect. You may not like a leader, but that leader may love their country, may love their countrymen, may want the best for their country. And that may not show up well elsewhere, but it's something to respect. That's what we need to focus on right now. We need to focus on what to respect in others. All species, all beings. What to respect in a mosquito. I'm dealing with slugs right now, and I just wanted to hate slugs. Oh, the slime. And then I read they are a source of pollinator too. They, through their slime, move things over to other plants, and I'm like, oh, I can't hate slugs. They're pollinators. I have to love them to be pollinator, and I don't have to like the slime, but I can love that they're a pollinator. Those are the steps we can take, just to go one after another, and find reasons to appreciate something and value something for what it is and what it isn't. We don't have to like everything about that species. My cat's agreeing with that. She wants to say hello. So, okay, wise ones, what am I toning? Respect. Respect. So here we go. Self-respect and respect. Nyana no makahiti no mahai niana niana yamnim yahna yamnim yohna hamnim yahnim hanim nyam no nam no nam na yo nam na hai ham no na niyam na hai am niyam na hai Okay, let's do a meditation. Let's do a meditation around what we have just come up with about respect, about self-love, about light on the planet. What are we going to focus on? All right? So, First of all, we need to align with our higher selves. We are one, we are present, we are all that is. Standing in our I am crystalline starlight radiance, radiating unconditional love to us, through us, from us, to us, through us, from us, 24/7, 365. Aligning with our higher selves, aligning with our light, aligning with our true essence, aligning with the unconditional loving light of all that is, and grounding with the crystal grid of Mother Earth. We invite in all benevolent beings to come in and assist us in this prayer of love and light, in the service of love and light. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And we send love. We send love to the core of Earth. We send love throughout every molecule of Earth. We send love to the light web to radiate exponentially the service and assist the quantum entanglements of light and love on this planet and throughout this solar system and throughout this universe. We expand, we expand, we expand the focus of love and light. We wrap all beings, all molecules, all energy in ascension healing cocoons of love and light. All those that are hurting, and we wrap in angel wings. We send ascension light energy through the water, soil, air, into our food systems, into our water, into our soil, into the air, that everyone breathes it, eats it, drinks it, to nourish every cell of their being, every cell of their body. We wrap all governments, leaders, organizations, institutes, all groups of 2 or more, we wrap them in healing ascension cocoons of light and love, surrounded by impenetrable bubbles of violet flame that only allow love to enter and exit. All harm ricochets rapidly back to its source and implodes. As sovereign light beings, we intend, demand, and declare that all farmers, all livestock, all farm food is all held in a sacred bond of ascension energy, cocoons of impenetrable bubbles of violet flame, the breath of God, that no harm comes to. It rapidly ricochets back to its source. All leaders, all light workers, working for the truth, working for the expansion of love and light on this planet. We wrap in impenetrable bubbles of violet flame, surrounded by angels, that only good enters and exits from. Anything else rapidly ricochets back to its source and implodes. As sovereign light beings, we intend, demand, and declare financial system that allows all people equal buying power, that allows all countries to be an asset-backed currency, that gives everyone equal buying power. We intend, demand, and declare a healthcare system based on the vibrancy of our cells and vibrancy of getting us back into our light's expression, our true, healed, healthy light's expression that we were born with. We intend, demand, and declare truth, integrity, to rise and shine on this planet, that all lies be exposed, all crimes against humanity be held accountable, and all those who have perpetrated crimes against humanity be held responsible and accountable. And they give back, they repent, they repay, or they go back to their light's origination point to be rebirthed, reborn, rebooted, karma cleared, and they start over. They start over as amoebas so that they can learn love and light once again, unlearn hatred, and learn love. We ask that all have the opportunity to remember who they are as a light source. All beings are light. All beings have light and love in them. We ask for the huge shift on this planet to bring people back to unconditional love, to bring people back to the truth of their light and source them with this loving essence. We ask for this and greater, that all governments, leaders, organizations, businesses, institutes, any business of 2 or more, any group of 2 or more, work for the people in harmony with Mother Earth and nature. That a balance be brought back on this planet, and that we have solutions to heal the soil, to heal the water, to heal our oceans, to heal all beings, to keep our species sacred and honored, and end needless extinction, to bring back balance, bring back harmony, bring back acceptance and truth and peace and wisdom and oneness. Bring us back to the golden age we were promised. But first, that golden age has to happen in us. That golden age and peace and oneness and acceptance and wisdom have to come inside of us first. We ask for the assistance of all love and light in this universe to assist us in achieving this goal. Thank you for this and greater, always. Namaste, amen, aho, and so it is so. 1, 2, 3. It is done, it is done, it is done. In the Trinity of 3, it is done. Thank you. Thank you. Happy Valentine's Day. Happy day of loving you. And then sending that out to others. Goodbye for now.